Shalom, this is Amonute Tayac of Piscataway, your friendly neighborhood human, Sophia Spiritualite, the AmaruKhan Miriyam, and I just wanted to make a video and talk really quickly about something that I pointed out, but I wanted to actually make a video because guess what, you guys? They're rolling out the same plan that they do every year. You now have this push to get males and females arguing over interpersonal relationships. So just like last year, they were pulling out this whole Meg the Boy Horse and Tory Lane situation. You have again them pulling out this situation. And the reason why I'm even making a video about it is that even though we are not participating in any kind of battle that they want to pursue in relations to having our people argue, what we're not going to do is sit on the sidelines, watch them do this, and then be like, oh, well, we told everybody. No. We're going to be active participants, but abstaining from the actual battle. So this is my best effort at what that looks like. So, and that's basically making commentary about it, not letting them get an inch in with whatever it is they're trying to do, certainly not participating, but not pretending like, oh, it's not happening. Oh, no, it is happening. Y'all. It is happening. So this is what's going on. First, let me go back a little bit. Last week, they tried to get people arguing about, what's his face? Offset and Cardi B, because it came out that Offset had slept with Blueface's baby mother, Krishan. So even before that came out, a story came out saying that Blueface's baby mothers, Krishan and the other girl, they had gone out together and they had left their children with Blueface, which I think I said in another video, that should be a crime in and of itself. That person is not fit to handle any children. So they tried to get people arguing about this. Oh, why the baby mothers going out and leaving the babies with the father and this and that, right? That didn't work. Didn't take no traction. Then they tried to amp it up a little bit. Here's Cardi B with this long, whatever thing talking about, oh, well, me and Offset are separated and this and that and, Krishan and all of this stuff. So then that's when they come out, Krishan maybe slept with Offset or something like that. Then that didn't work. Let me just... That did not work so fantastically because and then at the same time you had Nicki Minaj's album come out, which most people, reasonable people, are saying was a childish album for somebody who's almost 40. That's the best way to put it. The album is childish. She's almost 40 years old and she's engaging in this childish behavior still. And if you listen to that interview with Jaguar Wright, then you would know that she's not pretending. Nicki is a childish woman. She married a petty man. She's a childish woman, and she's not really going to be going anywhere from there. So then after that, they announced, because Cardi B and Nicki Minaj have this beef. So then they tried to get the Cardi B people fighting the Nicki Minaj people. I'm only saying this because you can see how they're trying to rile up these different groups of people. Well, that didn't work because the Cardi B fans just went and listened to her last album, pushed it higher in the charts or on the same place in the charts as Nicki Minaj's album. So people weren't fighting about it. They just didn't listen to Nicki's album. Well, that wasn't what they were expecting. A lot of people just said they wasn't going to listen to it. I read one review. The review said, out of 10, the dishes are washed. I was like, oh my gosh, that's not even a 0. That's like No, washed is like 0. You know what I mean? Like, you're washed out. Literally, he said the dishes are washed out of 10. I've never seen such a review, and this is a person who reviews, music all the time. So I was like, whoa, this is probably a bad sign. So then Cardi B announced that she's coming out with an album, her sophomore album, right? Well, why is Offset on the album? If they beefing like that, why she ain't just take him off the album? Or was it publicity so that people would be anticipating this album? She's on the album. She didn't take that off. So whatever, scam they were running trying to get people to argue over that, nobody cares. So now they've gone back to old reliable, these Houston women. So now you have Meg the Boy Horse, who was allegedly shot in the foot, even though she was performing the next day or something like that. And Kylie Jenner was there, and apparently somebody named Kelsey Harris. I've never seen this person before in my life. And Tory was there. So because he's the man, they put it on him. Well, yesterday it came out that there was a bodyguard there that the DA conveniently did not cross-examine. They did not call this person to the stand, could not get this person on the stand. This person apparently has a story, has submitted an affidavit, which we know is truth, unless it's rebutted by another affidavit. Submits an affidavit saying, hey, I tried to get y'all to call me in the trial, but and you wouldn't call me in the trial, and the trial was over, and y'all never heard my side of the story, even though I was there. And it was this girl Kelsey. She had a gun. It wasn't Tory who had the gun. It was Kelsey. So now you've got Negroes on the internet again arguing over Tory and Meg. Now, mind you, Tory is in jail. They put him in the jail. They put him under the jail practically, which, I don't really have an opinion on, except to say that I didn't think that it was fair because the story didn't sound right to me. Another Juicy Smollett story, if you ask me. The math wasn't mathing. Now, if you're talking about a female had a gun, now the math is mathing. Now the story is starting to make sense, because if Tory's from the Virgin Islands, if he was going to aim at somebody, I'm sure he would take them out. And then why would he do that? He was with a group of females. But does it sound more likely that you have a group of females arguing over something stupid? And especially these airheaded females, they're arguing over something stupid. One of them has a gun and pulls it out. Tory is like, whoa, man, let me take this gun from you because you probably never shot it before. I'm just saying, what story sounds more likely? Not the story that they've been telling. So I always thought, I didn't really see was no reason to put him in jail. I don't care if she got on the stand, cried, whatever happened to her, she ain't missed a beat. Plus, a story just came out about Meg that she actually stole this. I think I posted it or shared it. She stole this white artist's whole concept for her music video. When I say stole the whole concept, she stole even the way that she moved her head, the whole idea. There was smoking. The whole thing was like a carbon copy of this independent artist, white woman. Her whole music, what is it called? Music video. And she was really upset about it because she paid cash, like $5,000 to create this really cool music video, and Meg stole the whole thing. Not a little piece of it. The whole video from the beginning to the end. I have never seen anything like people steal stuff all the time, but you don't really normally see people stealing someone's whole music video. That's really unusual, especially not a white woman. Why would you do that? So Meg is in trouble, just in general. She's in trouble. So now they're trying to, okay, well, we got to get some sympathy for her. Let's bring out the story when people crying and arguing and fussing and fighting over Meg and Tory again. So here we are, December the 13th, and this is the exact same place we were December the 13th last year. Matter of fact, I do believe last year there was a story about Cardi B and Offset at this time too. And they tried to run some story about them at this time last year, and it didn't work either. So that is to say, we for sure have a corner piece of this matrix, how they operated their time clock. And of course, our corner piece is our beloved Saint Lucia, who is our patron saint over here of the channel, who revealed herself to us in the most gracious way, unbelievable way actually. And so we got a corner piece because this day somehow is a corner piece day. I don't know what it is. It's not on the calendar. Like, again, this is the day after the new moon this year. I don't know what it is. And then tomorrow, this is why I wanted to make this video. Tomorrow, December the 14th, is the anniversary of that Captain Hook and Sandy the squirrel, mass popcorn that happened in Connecticut. And guess who they just let back on Twitter? Alex Jones. So what is going on here? Like, again, the scam that they're running is so it can be almost laid out on a board. They're not doing anything original at all. They're literally So last year they took all the energy from whatever they got from St. Lucia's Day to force everybody to get all upset about this whole Captain Hook and Sandy Squirrel event in Connecticut. Now this year they've got Alex Jones back on Twitter and his whole crew, all of the nutcases, co-opted, transgender loving people. They got all of them back on Twitter. The guy, Owen Schroyer, he was in jail in solitary confinement for like 20 days. He's out, all just in time for the anniversary of Captain Hook and Sandy Squirrel in Connecticut. This is like, once you see this stuff, you can't unsee it. You can't go back and pretend like, oh, I didn't see any of these things that are happening. No, this for sure. This is a corner piece day. I don't know why it's a corner piece day. It for sure is a corner piece day. It's just that it's not going to be the corner piece that they're expecting, because they're expecting to take over the narrative with this stuff, and I don't think that it's going to work. I'm trying to think. I thought it was something else I wanted to bring up. So what I have noticed is that, or when I went back and listened to my video from last year, this day, the 13th, is a day that was really busy for me last year. And so this year, I've also been pretty busy today, but I tried not to be as busy. And even though I was kind of getting pushed to do some more stuff, I'm going to stop my day as early as possible, because by being so busy last year and this being such an important energetic day, I don't want to be so busy that I don't want to be so busy. I don't want today to be one of those days where I'm really busy. So I'm going to stop my day early. I had wanted to go get a white candle to light for St. Lucia. I already lit a blue candle, but I'm not going to do that either. I just lit my blue candle, and like I said earlier, ask for protection from the evil eye. And, you can go back and listen to my second video on St. Lucia. I think it's a little bit longer. It's like 30 minutes, but I go into more detail about what you can ask for and stuff like that. So since I already did light a candle, I was going to go to church. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to probably just go in the house, say some prayers, and get into bed, because I don't want my next 6 months to be like my 6 months last year, where I was so busy. I never got a chance to rest. I never got a chance to slow down. Between the 13th of December and the 17th of was it the 17th? No, that was the Cancer new moon. So between the 13th of December and I guess July or June the 1st, or whenever the Sagittarius new moon was, I never sat still for the whole 6 months. And then after that, I never sat still for the next 6 months either. From whenever the Sagittarius or the Cancer new moon till this point, I have not had no rest and no peace. So I am going out of my way to make sure I get rest and peace today. Even though I have been busy, I also made it a point to try not to spend too much money. I'm trying to spend no money, and I don't think I've spent any money today. I've eaten everything I've gotten for free. I used all my points, whatever I had that I could use, I used it today, because I was like, no, y'all not going to have me out here spending my money. No, these companies need to be giving me money to spend. Just trying to set the tone for the energy, because what it's trying to do is, I had several people try and start arguments with me over Twitter, I would say over the last few days, starting with Saturday, people trying to start arguments with me on Twitter, and I was like, nah, I'm not about to be arguing with these people on Twitter. Between yesterday, two more people tried to start arguments with me on Twitter, and I was like, nah, I'm not arguing with nobody over any of this stuff. Today I've just been laying low. I'm not even really commenting on what people are saying. I'm commenting when it's necessary, but I'm not saying any more than is necessary. Because like I said, we want to stay on the battlefield. We don't want to give up the battlefield, but at the same time, we're not in the battle. We're just commentating on the battle, which is different. If it's a different posture. We're above the battle. We're commenting like the commentators on the side of the field. We're from the side of the field. We do have a vested interest in who wins, because we want our team to win. However, I'm not suiting up and getting out there. No. Even in that dream that I had, where I was, where the Most High came and bought me some hard cider from the top shelf, right? Anyway, even in that dream, I looked out on the field and saw that these people was fighting, and I was like, oh no, I don't want to see this, and I left the field. Now I left the field because that's what I needed to do this time. This time I'm going to stay. I'm going to go into the VIP box and watch the field, but we're not participating. We have a vested interest. Of course, we want our ancestors, angels, and guides to win. However, we are not our ancestors, angels, and guides in this case. They have to win this. They have to win this one with our energy, which we are freely giving to them to fight for us, but we are not actually going to go out there and actually fight. We have no idea who we're up against. We have no idea how to fight, and they have a battle plan that is successful, and we don't have to be involved in this. And that's why we're asking for more protection from St. Lucia, from the evil eye. We want to keep that evil eye away from us. We want to keep it away from this channel. I don't care if I've got 5 viewers, as long as we don't have any evil eye over here, no malicious intentions, no kind of weird stuff where people are trying to force people into behaviors and things that they don't want to do. We don't want none of that over here. And so I don't care about viewers in that case. I really just want us to be protected. The ones who are here, the ones who get it, I want us to be protected from these people, because there is a group of people that's going to have to be elevated. Speaking of a group of people who have to be elevated, I want to talk about the circumcision stuff real quick, because it's starting to come up amongst people. And so I just wanted to make this comment, because I don't think people understand why the Hebrews were required to be circumcised. That is our men's blood sacrifice. The only men who need to do a blood sacrifice of that sort are Hebrew men. Other men, that it's not required. It's not required. It's unnecessary. Our men need to do it because they need to be desensitized, and they also need to give a blood sacrifice. That is required. But other men, it's not required. So when you see people having this whole conversation about the circumcision and stuff like that, or you're having babies and you're trying to figure out what to do, number one, I always default to the man. The man is the one who's going to show them how to use that thing, so that's the one who should decide. Second of all, if you're not a Hebrew, you don't have to be circumcised. It's not required. It's only required for Hebrew men because that is their blood sacrifice. And due to the nature of our people, it's required. That's it. That's all. But if you, as a man, don't feel like your son needs to do that blood sacrifice, that's totally fine. That's up to you and your relationship with the Most High and all of that. But I just see like people starting to bring it up. And it's like, no, what y'all need to understand is that it's only one group that is required of. Everyone else is not required. And so that is how you're going to know who the real Hebrews are and who aren't. Because some people, they have that thing. Because this is what happened. First of all, I saw someone mention an article about they had hooked a little baby, newborn male, up to one of those brain scanners, and they gave him the circumcision, and when they did it, his brain reacted in a negative way, which automatically told me that he was not someone who should have been getting a circumcision. Why would you subject these non-Hebrew men to this particular thing? Like, it's unnecessary. So it just made me think, you know what? I bet they didn't use any black children in that study, because and even if they did, we would never know, because the black children responded differently. Like, my son is circumcised, and the doctor was like, he slept the whole time, he didn't have no problems, it was a non-issue. So that told me that, okay, what's the difference between my son and these other people's sons who are traumatized by this forever? Well, they wasn't supposed to do it. That's the long and the short of it. They wasn't supposed to do it. And shame on the American system for forcing all men to get this thing done when it only is required of the ones who are of the children of Abraham. Why make everybody do it? All these people ain't the children of Abraham. Y'all need to stop acting like y'all don't know who is who. Oh, another thing. So I posted a little picture of the Christmas goat that I bought, which is crazy because this is like on a totally different topic. I posted a picture of the little Christmas goat that I bought that was recommended by Argus. I posted his video where he was talking about the Christmas goat. So that is like a Swedish, Norwegian kind of tradition. Well, St. Lucia is specifically celebrated by the Swedish, by those Norwegian people. So yesterday, my little Christmas goat arrived right before her day, like just in time for me to put it out for her day. So that's just telling me that this stuff is in alignment, in a kind of way that, again, back to the corner piece. I didn't want to get too far off in the weeds with that whole circumcision thing, but that was the other thing I wanted to tell you. So Argus has another video out where he's talking about the hag stones, which is the stones with the holes in it. And if you have if you've done my pendulum class, I talk about the hag stones and the red string, and I go into kind of like an esoteric discussion of that. So that is to say, I do have the pendulum masterclass coming up that is on the community post where you can sign up. It's free. I'm not going to discuss the stuff that's in the pendulum, the Rhabdomancy 101 course. This is going to be different information. I'm not exactly sure what's coming through for that yet, but it is scheduled. And then I have a tarot masterclass that's going to be like January 4th. And so I'm going to discuss kind of the tarot spiral, the different meanings of the cards, maybe even a little bit on how to read them or how I would read them. And so that is also free. So if you're interested, you can sign up for that as well. And that's posted in my community pages. And we have the full moon in Cancer coming up in a couple weeks, right the day after Christmas. So our meeting for that, I think, is going to be on Thursday before Christmas or something like that. Also another free class you might want to sign up for and get the information. After this month, I'm not going to post the full moon and the new moon things to YouTube. I am going to do them for this month since my energy is kind of like good for that, but after this they're not going to be posted they're not going to be posted to YouTube. You'll have to get the whole year replay on the website if you want to pick up from where we are. We do have the meetings, people can show up to them, but if you want to actually get all of the foundational, I would call this like the foundational course, I guess. You will have to get that on my website, but it's not on there right now. I'm still trying to figure out how to post it. And I need to redo the first couple weeks because the videos was kind of messed up. And I am going to go more into discussion of astrology in the next video, because I realize that you really do have to have a good understanding of astrology, at least certain things, how certain things work in order to make the most of the information. So I'm going to go a little bit more into astrology in the Cancer full moon course than I have in the previous sessions, and we're going to discuss some of the aspects of astrology that I haven't really done on this page. I probably won't do because I'm not really an astrologer. I just use it to accomplish a particular task. And so I don't want, if people ask me like really like specific questions about astrology, I may or may not even know them because I'm not an astrologer. I just know how to use astrology. So that's all the update I wanted to provide. Yes, we're still out here in the Santa hat. I got to keep my vibration high. This week is energetically, this week is going to be a little bit tough. They're really pulling out all the stops, using the squares and the hard aspects we have this week to try to get us to fight with people. That's why I brought this whole thing up, is that they're literally trying to cause this aggression so that we fight. And these are not necessarily bad points, but it's like what they're doing is they're using the dark side of these aspects to try to get us fighting. And so, once I notice something like that, I gotta say something. Like, they're not just gonna get away with, oh, okay, let's start talking about Meg and Tory again. Everybody will be fighting over that. No, we're not fighting over that. Matter of fact, we're not even having a discussion because it doesn't matter. The court system is going to do what it's going to do. They could know for a fact that this man is innocent, and it doesn't matter. Everyone knows it doesn't work like that. It's whatever they decide. They decide he was going to be guilty and go to jail. He was guilty and went to jail. How many people have they locked up that they knew weren't guilty, but they just rushed to judgment? So this wouldn't be the first one. This wouldn't be the last one. This probably going to cost him the most amount of money if he's able to get out of jail as a result of this, because they really should not have put him to jail in the first place. And so that's going to be a really big problem. I think the case was tried in the state of California. So that's going to be another huge problem, a huge debt California is going to owe. But hey, it is what it is. So if I have another, I don't know what you call these, like world update, Negro news update. If I have another Negro news update, I'll certainly bring it to you. So shalom everyone, and we'll see you in the next video.